prior to the 1970s, our parents and grandparents used to cook with good healthy fats, things like duck fat, lard, and even butter. But today, we all cook with vegetable oils, shortenings, and hydrogenated processed fats that are actually bad for us. So, why should we be cooking with good healthy fats and eating healthy fats in our foods? Let me explain. Before 1970, diabetes and obesity were quite rare. Today, the supermarket shelves are full of foods like these that are full of sugar, additives, gums, vegetable oils, processed sweeteners. These are the foods that are actually making us fat. And I want to challenge you to listen to this short video about how you can change your mindset around what we should be eating. The common misconception that when you eat fat, you get fat is just plain simply wrong. This came about because of some well-intentioned scientists back in the 60s when cardiovascular disease became the #1 health concern in America. These well-intentioned scientists had a hypothesis that dietary cholesterol contributed significantly to cardiovascular disease, but they were wrong. So in response to these studies that were done, the US government changed their dietary guidelines. Out was fat and in was low fat and an abundance of grains. Once again, food just like this. Highly processed carbohydrates was the key to better health, or that's what we were told. Reduce our consumption of saturated fat, reduce our consumption of eggs, and don't eat dairy because you'll have a heart attack. Well, how wrong could we be? What's happened is the world has become obese, diabetes rates have skyrocketed, all because of the false science behind those hopeless dietary guidelines that were promoted around the world, starting in the US of A. So when we eat highly processed foods and carbohydrates, these foods cause dramatic surges of glucose in our bloodstream. The constant surges of too much sugar and insulin cause inflammation and major health problems. They actually cause us to get fat. So the food guidelines that are there to help us be healthy and not fat make us get fat because of foods like this. The foods that we think, the foods that we are told constantly are healthy foods just aren't healthy. So you may ask, well, if I can't eat those carbohydrates, the cereal, the grains, the bread, how can you eat bacon and eggs without bread? Well, I'll tell you, it's really easy. What should I eat? What you should be eating is green vegetables, healthy saturated fats, oils, nuts, full fat dairy, grass-fed meat, wild fish if you can get it, salmon, lots of vegetables and greens. These are the foods that we're actually meant to eat before we were told the big fat lie about eating low fat. I'm sure you'll think it's really strange that I say we shouldn't be eating bread, cereal, pasta, and starchy vegetables like potatoes. But thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands around the world, have benefited from changing away from a low-fat diet to a healthy lifestyle of low carbohydrate, healthy fats. And the results have been outstanding. In fact, look at my blood results. There is no drug in the world that can increase your HDL cholesterol and drop your triglycerides. And I've done this in the last 2 years just from changing how I eat. So the biggest impact to me is not being starving all day, not standing at the fridge thinking, what is there to eat? Not going to the pantry every couple of hours, having a stable mood throughout the day and not those ups and downs of that sugar roller coaster that I'm sure so many of you have. And my clients are experiencing exactly the same change and that optimized state of being calm and relaxed and not being starving all the time. Unfortunately, we've all been sold the biggest lie in the history of the world. And what's happened is the massive food companies have made lots of money out of our ill health. Well, it's time to change. It's time to take your health into your own hands, and I can help you do that. If you want to be lean, if you want to be healthy, if you want to lose that big fat tummy that you're so embarrassed about, sign up to one of my Lose Your Belly weight loss programs. I'm very confident that when you work with me, you'll be able to achieve your objectives of optimizing your health, not being starving all the time, and just simply having an amazing, healthy life.